Dr. Garrett Castleberry here, Program Director of Communication. More importantly, a co-designer of this course, 5233, Graphic Design and Portfolio Management. Well, let's begin to unpack this course. And I think one of the first things we can do is discuss the required readings that we have for the course. We're very excited about the readings, and my job here is to simply introduce each of these texts and get you excited about it. Now, graduate school is intentionally built to be one of the more challenging educational experiences. And yet we also recognize that by the time students gain a certain maturity in their returning to school for a graduate or terminal degree, that they have developed a sense of personal desire and internal drive towards some greater achievement. And for that reason, we both want to recognize and reward the necessity for rigor in the classroom. Well, this course is designed to take us in some exciting directions. We're not assuming anyone doesn't think visually or can't think visually or hasn't been thinking visually, but we're going to help to call you up and train you to better plan visually and communicate your messages visually. And so when we initiate this graphic design component, there will be assignments and there will be objectives, but a lot of these are in correlation to the key reading. So let's talk about them. There is no determinate order per se, but I think we're going to find value in each of these. Let's start with this one. This is a fun book, if I can use that term in a grad school setting, for David Sibbitt's Visual Meetings. It's kind of a long subtitle here, so I'll read it. How graphics, sticky notes, and idea mapping can transform group productivity. All right. And why are we encountering this book here? Well, first of all, this course is a little bit of an opportunity to grow in the knowledge of graphic design. We're not expecting, or we can't plan that students have any kind of familiarity prior to coming to the course. And so some of it may feel basic, but I guarantee the authors in these books are going to put these basic ideas and principles into some incredibly valuable professional situations. They're going to help you become a more organized communicator because they're going to push you to become a more visual communicator. And so this book isn't just, if you've already noticed, it's a rectangular shape. It's a non-traditional book, and it's got a lot of imagery in addition to text. I randomly selected less of an image-heavy page, but there's going to be an opportunity to gain insight and practice your craft, not just read about it. And so there's plenty of visual demonstrations in there. And I'll just preview and say there are multiple opportunities to speak, to translate the readings into the class. We're going to have weekly Vlogras reports where students give us some takeaways from at least one reading. We're looking for some crisp oral citations and excerpts, kind of a demonstration of knowledge gained through at least one reading. And then we have a couple of exercises, activities that are really built as assignments that are going to push us to come out of our shell a little bit more on the creativity front, and with regards to fundamental visual concepts and shape making, right? Some stuff like that. It's going to be both a throwback and a refresher of sorts. Well, this book is a little bit similar, but it's got its own dimensionality, all right? And that is Dan Rome's The Back of the Napkin, okay? The Back of the Napkin, Solving Problems and Selling Ideas with Pictures, expanded edition. This one is full of similar concepts, but he's going to present some structures, some methodologies for how to organize content, and it's going to have a healthy tie-in. Have you ever found yourself needing to present information to people and you maybe overspent on putting together a big PowerPoint, or worrying about your opening story and maybe not enough time kind of visualizing it? Or have you ever come up with ideas in a short space where you needed to expand but were low on resources, maybe at a conference or something? I've certainly done that. Been in a situation where I'm on deck to speak, have limited resources available. Suddenly, the conference Wi-Fi is not functionally cooperative, and I need to audit my situation. And I've gone to hotel, kind of like conference hotel cocktail napkins to rework my thoughts and ideas. And I've even been in seminars, leadership seminars, where I'm kind of drafting my thoughts using what's available to me, using alternative ways of expression to mold new ideas and thus expand my learning capacities. And so this book comes from that philosophy, and we hope that it's going to speak to you in ways that are going to help you unlock some new ways of creatively expressing yourself. Well, those kinds of methods and book directions are one layer. But if we're going to immerse ourselves in a body of information, we need some foundational sources. That includes key terms. Terminology is important to growing into any conversation. You need to master certain terminology if you're going into nursing, right? If you're working in health, if you're working in sports science, if you're working in business. Key terms give us the taxonomies with which to organize information and to heighten communication, understanding of the world. Well, we have one such book for us that's really going to bring us into the world of graphic design, even without that background experience. And it is Universal Principles of Design, long subheader here, 125 ways to enhance usability, influence perception, increase appeal, make better design decisions, and teach through design. This is from William Lidwell, Christina Holden, and Jill Butler. And this is going to be an incredible resource. I'm going to go ahead and say in advance, we're not asking you to memorize nor cover this entire book. We have strategically sampled some key terms in advance that we think will help you thrive in those conversations and begin to kind of think along different terms than you might already be familiar with. So that's a look at some key readings, and I'll be back to talk about some other aspects of the class. Sit tight.